So Arknight gonna be released within a week. So initially I thought the Arknight Endfield gonna be another Genshin copies, like the Genshin 3.0, cause the 2.0 is the Whirling Waves. But apparently that is not. The combat system is totally different from any other gacha game that you have ever seen. Instead of swapping in and out between the character, every single member on your team will be fighting along with the character that you're controlling. You could manually select which character you want to control during the fight. It's not the first ever combat system in the entire gaming industry. It is adopted from the Final Fantasy 15, and it is refreshing to see this combat system in the gacha space. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, cause I'm gonna be making guide and general tip in the future, and I will be fully committed into this game with this channel. The setting of this game is fine, I guess. It's the post-apocalypse futuristic world where you and your waifu station on the space station, pun intended, and trying to retake the civilization by building cities. I think it took a page from the Death Stranding, cause I believe some of the mission has to do with exploration or delivering stuff from a city to other cities, building up the infrastructure so you could traverse to all kinds of terrain. The next stuff is the exploration system. You could build your own zip line from station to station, and you could place it on any spot that you want. I heard something about you could use the zip line that is built by the other player on the same server. I'm just not sure how are they gonna implement it with tens of thousands of players out there. And for the daily grind, I think it looks pretty cool, cause you could set up the turret and let the turret fight the mob for you. It's a pretty good quality of life improvement as compared to any other gacha at the moment, especially in the live action space. But you could also involve the fight to speed up the grind a bit. The game will also have this side game, the automated industrial complex. It's basically a factory management game. It seems tedious on the first sight, but apparently it's not, because you can just take out the blueprint and use it, unless you want to min-max your factory by getting involving with the management yourself. And not only you could design your own blueprint, it only takes one good player to lay out the blueprint to share the most optimal way to build factory, and we could just copy paste it. So it does seems like even if you don't enjoy this side game, you could still progress this part just fine, and we could expect the hardcore factory designer community. I personally think about 2 to 3 minutes to set up for all the factory dailies are a pretty good balance for this mode, but anything longer than that, I could see how this mode could hinder the game. And about the gacha system, it's a pretty controversial subject. I think it's more generous than MiHoYo game and the Whirling Waves, but it's also very punishing when you mess up. In a nutshell, if you don't have 120 pools, you don't want to pool for limited, cause the pity isn't gonna carry over. But hey, in MiHoYo game, the guarantee is at like 180 pools, realistically 160, and you don't have to pool for the weapon. Instead, you're getting the currency for the weapon. But I can't really tell if the weapon gacha system gonna be good or not, even though it's not gonna use the currency. I'm not sure how many equivalent amounts of pools that could guarantee a limited weapon. I think we would just have to wait and find out about it. And about the 50-50 system, you got the 50% chance to win the limited character that you want at the 80th pool. But when you're losing your 50-50, you don't exactly lose to a standard character. You have about 15% chance to lose to the other two limited character. Like let's say if you lose 50-50 when you're pulling Lavitin, you're gonna have 7.5% chance to lose to Gilberta or lose to Yvonne. Or when you pull for Gilberta, when you lose 50-50, you would have the possibility to lose to the other two limited. By the time when we got the fourth limited, you would have the chance to lose to two previous limited. And whether this gacha system good or not is determined on how well these characters gonna synergize with each other. The less they're synergized, the worse this kind of pool system is. And the better they synergize, the better it would be. So unless you don't save enough pool for the banner and you are pulling disciplinedly, I think it's so much less predatory than Genshin Impact or any other MiHoYo game. The first 3 limited operator gonna be the 1 Leviathan. I believe that she's an AoE DPS. Yeah, I think her animation is looking pretty good, but too bad that like the first few characters are gonna be the weakest, and the second banner gonna follow with Gilberta. I believe that she's some kinds of debuffer with some crowd control. I mean, just look at all the details that they got. They definitely nailed the character design. I wonder how many computers and phone could actually handle the graphic, even though they claim that they already optimized it. And the third banner gonna be the single target attackers, Yvonne. She has to be the most waifu pools out of these 3. I've seen a lot of people get excited for her. She really does stand out. It said you're gonna get a 135 pools. The choice of their word is pretty interesting, hit hunting. But don't get carried away by this number, cause you probably has to play the game for like 5-6 hours to get this 135 pools. I've seen this over and over again. I shit you not. You ain't gonna get it by just logging in. The pool seems to be worse than I expected. You only got 29 pools for limited. There's no way that you could get the limited without topping up. They're gonna give away a 5-star operator, goes by the name Snowshine, and her signature weapon. I don't think this outfit is the best for you to survive in the Arctics, but it has to be the best for my eyes. And if you're logging in for 14 days to get this 6-star operator, I think 6-star is probably the highest gacha in this game, and you also gonna get her signature. I don't think we could expect her to be the strongest character in the game. Maybe she gonna be a support or something, judging from her design, cause you gotta heal, right? But you gotta log in for a total of 14 days. I like the part that they only has 5 standard character. So at least if we lose the 50-50, we're gonna be able to get their copies much easier, instead of spreading sin to more character. Even like 7 or 8 is pretty tedious, not gonna lie. And it does seems like by just logging in, we would be able to get some pools from this event like Firewalker's Trail, the Spectral Splendor. It does looks pretty reasonable for the launch. And I guess that's about it for the day. My name is Ryusuke and see you guys.